both of those, they stayed in character even when I met them. Hello. And one of the nuggets there is that sometimes actors are going to have to stay in character. That's just what they do. And you can't get in your head like, oh, they hate me. That's just what they do. And of course,
their process.
Right. It's their process. You have to understand that. And of course, when we finished the scenes, they were like bubbly and, friendly again. So.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you educational lessons and real-life stories behind the scenes of TV and film. I'm your host and a talent agent, Jason Lockhart, and today our guest has what I think might be near 1,000 credits. Mr. Charles Green.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jason. This is fun.
I mean, Charles, you're a legend. You were an absolute legend in this market, in this world. So it's an honor to have you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I understand, I was kind of joking, what credit should we talk about? But I guess Underground Railroad has a hell of a nugget.
It's the nugget. Yes.
Can you take me back to the audition, the beginning, the origin of this?
Yes. So the audition I got was for the role of a doctor. I think it was Dr. Campbell. Nice 3-page scene with the male lead, Aaron Pierre, who's hot now. And so I got a live callback with Barry, and I did it, and I felt I did a good job. And a couple of days later, my agent calls me and says, well, you booked it. I said, great. And he says, the role of Mr. Ford. And I went, who the hell is Mr. Ford? I didn't read for that. And so I thought, okay, it must be one line or something. And I got it, and it was 3 weeks' work. He had totally booked me on a role that he didn't even hear me read for.
Was it a bigger role than what you read for?
Yeah, the other one was a day player. Now it was 3 weeks.
So he saw something.
He saw something. And I read an interview on him, and he said, I don't know what I want until it walks into the room. And so I walked in the room, and he saw me as another role, and he nailed it. I mean, the role I got was just so appropriate for me. So,
what about the role, do you think?
It had a bit of me in it, a bit of quirkiness, and a bit of how can I put this? I don't want to, where I had to be a bit submissive to Megan Boone. We were both running the school, but she was the one that was, we were supposed to be equals, but she let me know, no, you're not the equal. So I was kind of henpecked, I guess is the word I want to say.
Interesting. Because there's that human energy.
Yeah.
And I think a really good director can feel that. And sometimes they're casting an energy more so than a look.
Mm-hmm. And it's not the first time, I know I'm not going to talk about other shows, but it's not the first time that I auditioned for one role and got another role. So I always tell actors, just go in there and do your best job. Even if you're like, oh, I'm not really right for that role, I'm not going to audition for it. No, audition for it. Because they just might see you like they saw me and put you in another role that might even be bigger than when you auditioned for.
So then take me to set. What happened when you got to set? Who were you working with? What were you kind of picking up?
So we shot in Savannah in August, outside. That was fun. If anybody's been there, it's the old railroad museum. So there's a lot of really cool old buildings there. None of them air conditioned, by the way. And it's 1860s and we're 1850s, and we're dressed in wool and
95 degrees and humid.
It was unbelievable. So Barry, first off, is just a cool director. He's just chill. His assistant director, not so much. She's sort of the timekeeper, but she's good. She's smart. She just, because he will kind of drift off. She'll go, okay, well, we got 50 minutes to shoot this. So she's his little timekeeper. On set, first off, being on there for 3 weeks, I actually made quite a few friends. From Atlanta, for example, Andrea Lang, another person that works a lot.
Love Andrea. She sat in that seat.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Andrea Lang.
Yeah, she's so cool. We're fast friends.
She's a badass.
Yeah, we're fast friends. And we've also worked together on both of the Adult Swim Yule Log films as well. So, so I got to hang with a lot of people, and it was really cool because if you've seen Underground Railroad, it is very serious. So I think a lot of us needed that relief, that kind of frivolity and fun when we were off set because it was so heavy when we were on set. And most of my scenes were with Aaron Pierre and Joel Edgerton, but the ones that was most memorable was with Aaron. You want me to go ahead and talk to you about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'd love to hear anything about it.
Hey, are you a parent of a young actor? Then you're going to want to pay attention to this because Get Seen Studios has what we call our Rising Star program. This program is incredible. It is a monthly program that puts you in front of an industry pro every single month and focuses on what a young actor needs to be focusing on, which is auditions. So every single month, we focus on either theatrical auditions or commercial auditions so they can be set up for success when they get an agent or if they already have an agent to really succeed at these auditions and even begin to make money at this. So we bring in different industry pros every single month and agents and casting directors and then work on those auditions. So if this sounds like something that you would like to get your child or a friend that has a child involved in, all you need to do is email risingstar@getseenstudios.com and we will let you try your first month for just $1 a class. That's right, only $1 a class. All you got to do is email us and we will get you all set up and ready to go to improve those auditions and then also get in front of those industry pros because we are Get Seen. Thanks for watching.
About it.
So first off, Aaron was discovered by Barry Jenkins. This is another little nugget. He went to see Mark Rylance in a Shakespearean play, Othello, in London. So he went to see Mark Rylance, the Oscar winner, but on stage was Aaron. And at this time, Barry knew he was going to be directing Underground Railroad, but he hadn't even started casting. He saw Aaron on stage and went, that's it. That's my guy. That's going to be my male lead. And so this was really Aaron's first foray into American TV and film. He did little roles in London, but so the thing about Aaron is, first off, he's extremely kind. He's extremely generous. The other thing is, the second I met him, he's probably the most charismatic actor I've ever met. I went, this guy's gonna be big. So we had several scenes together, but there was one particular scene I remember. I had to give him some bad news, his character. And so it was just the two of us talking. And I have a theater background. He's got a theater background. And the one thing in theater is when you make a connection with another actor on stage, and it's even really terrific, you do that on film. Well, with him, I remember we did like 3 or 4 takes. And the last take, it was all of a sudden as if there was nobody around us. There were no cameras, there were no lights, there were no 100 people around us. It was just him and me in this scene. And when it was over, we kind of looked at each other. I think we both had felt that magic, and we hugged. I've never done that with an actor before, that I've worked with, but it was we could just feel the energy between the two of us. And we just I don't know, it was such a bonding experience. And it was just, one of the most memorable experiences I've had on set is with him.
I feel like I could go one step further and define what happened.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Patsy Rodenberg and her work?
Mm-mm.
Voice and speech coach and private Shakespearean coach. Patsy Rodenberg. She wrote a book called The Second Circle.
Okay.
Anybody that's seen me in a public platform has probably heard me talk about this. But second circle energy is when you're truly in the present with someone else. First circle energy, you're kind of not there. You're kind of withdrawn. You're in the past. You're kind of recycling your energy just within yourself. And then third circle energy, you're just like too much. You're in someone's face. You can hit them with your energy. It's of the future. Lead from the chest.
Yeah.
But second circle, you're just there with them.
Yeah.
And what I love about theater actors is that they really get it. Because when you're on stage and something goes wrong, and then you just like look at each other, you're really there in the present with each other.
You are.
Right? But what Patsy says, and I think this is so beautiful, is it shouldn't take something going wrong for the two of you to be so connected.
Right.
It's a choice to just like you and I right now.
Right.
Second circle energy. We're just here right now in the present, connected. And I almost got goosebumps. It's so cool. You know?
Did everything disappear? And it was just you and me?
It's just you and I. You know, or it's like people on a date at a bar, and like suddenly all the
Yeah.
other patrons are gone because those
gone.
two people are just there in second circle with each other having a really wonderful experience.
Right.
They've given each other their full attention in the present.
Right.
And
And we just knew, it was just this feeling, we just knew something magical had just happened.
Yeah.
Now the sad part, they cut the scene.
No! I was actually about to say, like, so where...
"Oh!" No, they cut the scene, and I tell you, when they cut the scene, I watched it, and I was like, okay, well, there's something missing here because that was some important information, and now it's gone.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know why they edited it out, but they did. But they will never edit out of my mind that feeling.
Yeah.
And the other person that came very close with that was when I did Dope Sick, was with Caitlin Deaver. She and I, it was pretty much the same thing. Was we had this one-on-one conversation, and she was deeply troubled, and it was sort of the same thing. Just everybody just kind of disappeared. It was just her and me.
Locked in.
And the thing is she was so pathetic and sorrowful of her character that I started feeling myself being drawn in to where I wanted to cry for her. And I knew as my character, I couldn't do that I needed to stay strong for her. So that was kind of interesting to get caught up in this beautiful
it's
performance
real.
she was doing. And I went, snap out of it. You're the strong person. You're the priest. You're the one comforting this girl who's troubled. So, and I did one of Jesse's summits, and they showed the clip, and I talked about it. I choked up. I
Took you right back.
It took me right back to how powerful it was with her. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Is there anything that you could share with our viewers about how you get to that place comfortably? Or any pattern you've seen in your own work that you're like, this is when I can get there. When I can get so present and connected to another actor.
Well, first off, I mean, I rely on the other actor's eyes. That is so important to me because, as you say, eyes are the windows of the soul. And if I can really connect with him, on that level, that's half the battle right there. I don't think I've ever had an actor where I felt like, oh, they're not giving me anything. I've always been fortunate, I guess, except for the times when I remember when I did Shaft with, I'm forgetting his name.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Thank you. And
He's right there on my arm.
So, it Shaft. So, they did all his coverage. And then when it came time for me to do my coverage, he's leaving. His double, you're going to talk to him. And he's like on the script talking to you like this. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try my best here. And in those particular cases, I have a great imagination. And I can actually see Samuel L. Jackson there. I have no problem. Same thing when I'm in an audition room or, self-taping. When I'm reading the material, I already know what the desk looks like. There's books over here, there's a green lamp here. I could see all that. And if it's, let's say it's Will Trent, it's easy to go on and hear the voice and see the mannerisms of the person I'll be talking to. And I can see all that too.
That's huge. And I love that you said this because I think specificity in the artist's mind is what makes the audience see it or feel it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you are so specific to the point that you didn't just say there was a lamp, you said there was a green lamp.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's no bullshit there. Like, you're really doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not we see that lamp doesn't matter. But if it helps you, the entire thing is believable.
Right. And whoever's reading, I see that character as well.
That's huge. And that's smart to understand, like, well, which actor would I actually be speaking with if you have the ability to know, like Will Trent or, something like Grosse Pointe Garden Society, the new show in Atlanta. Hopefully it goes for years and everyone's going to know who are they reading with.
Right.
Know?
Right.
Have you done that show yet?
No, I think did I have an audition for it? I think I had to turn it down. But my good friend Lauren Buglioli is on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
She's
of
killing it. She's killing it.
Yeah. There's a lot of exciting things happening in this market, as you know. would you say, if I had to ask you one last question about Underground Railroad,
Yeah.
what would be the ultimate nugget that you got from doing those 3 weeks that you could pass on to a younger version of yourself or actors listening?
I think, with regards particularly back to Aaron, not just that one scene, but the entire time I worked with him, was just know what you are, your character. I mean, just know the character. And fortunately, it was 3 weeks' work, so I was able to do that, and just trust that the fellow actor you're working with is going to give you what you need. The other thing too is this happened with Caitlin, and it just happened. I shot the pickup with Kiki Palmer last January. Both of those, they stayed in character even when I met them. Hello, and one of the nuggets there is that sometimes actors are going to have to stay in character. That's just what they do, and you can't get in your head like, oh, they hate me. That's just what they do. And of course,
their process.
Right. It's their process. You have to understand that. And of course, when we finished the scenes, they were like bubbly and, friendly again. So I kind of rambled there a bit.
No, it's interesting. I mean, you just have such a plethora of work behind you that I feel like we could probably pick out any credit and you'd have something that you learned or gained or something helpful.
Right.
Like you're the
I
true
think,
definition of a working actor.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is just trust yourself. Trust yourself. You know the work. Trust yourself. They brought you in for a reason. You booked it for a reason. Trust that when you're on that set, they all are rooting for you.
They want you to do well.
They want,
They are on your side. They're not hoping you fail.
Right. Same thing with a callback.
Yeah, they want you to do well. They hope you're the one.
Yeah. They're looking for that one, and you could be it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I did lie. One last question.
Okay.
Do you have a dream role? Is there something that you were like, I haven't done this and I really want to?
Yeah. So I was a precocious 12-year-old, and I read a lot of plays. And one of the plays I read was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf by Edward Albee. One of my most memorable childhood moments was my mother and I sitting on the porch of our home in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and her reading Martha to my 12-year-old George. So, anyway, it's a role that I've always wanted to play on stage, but unfortunately it's always eluded me, and I'm starting to kind of get a little old in the tooth for it. But
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I think I could still play. Put that makeup on me.
Sure.
That stuff under your eyes that takes the bags away, and yeah, I could look like 50s again.
Easily. You'd also be a good Colonel Jessup, I think.
Colonel Jessup. Oh, that's
A Few Good Men.
Oh yeah.
Nicholson did the role in the film.
Right.
That'd be a hell of a
I
role
could do
for
that.
you.
I could do that. I think, not that I'm bragging or anything. I guess I am. I can do pretty much variety of roles.
I know.
I'm not
I mean, what you do on Adult Swim is very different than what you did in Underground Railroad.
very different. Very different. Yeah. Or what I did in Blackbird
Very different.
versus Adult Swim. Yeah. Those are totally different. So yeah. Well, thank you. I think you're right. I could play that role, and it's a great role.
It's a great role. Love to see what you can do with it. I mean, just even the way you're.
So you just produce it, and
We'll
I'll
see. Yeah,
I'll
you
play
never
the role.
know. Maybe. I always wanted to play Kathy, but I'm too old at this point. And retired.
And retired.
But anyways, thanks for being here, man. It means a lot to me and hopefully to our audience as well. And I have a gift for you.
Okay.
So don't look in this bag. This bag came from Sarah Carpenter. My little Star Wars
Sarah.
bag.
I know Sarah.
Go ahead and reach your hand in there because you have just won a free car.
Oh, do you want me to really put my hand in it now?
Reach in and grab one.
Okay, it's not going to be moving. It's not
I
like a
promise it will not move.
hamster or
Yeah.
something. Oh, I see. It's like, just grab something. Okay, I'll grab this. I got a car!
What'd you get?
Hot Wheels, baby.
You got a Tesla.
Which one is it? I don't know.
You got a blue Tesla.
A Tesla. Oh, that's a Musk car. Well, we won't go into that.
It's not about him. It's about saving the environment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for being here, man.
Thank you.
Pretty awesome. Thank you to our audience for tuning in. I mean, the guy's legend. Look him up. And you can see and learn a lot just from watching his work. You really can. And thank you to Justin Malinowski and Get Seen for producing our show. And if you would like to be a guest on our show because you got your own cool booking story with a lesson, pitch it right to us. It's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Charles Green, you're the man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again so much for watching. And if you loved that story and were interested to learn more about the casting office that actually cast that show, then I have some really cool news because our sister show, Get Seen Unscripted, actually had them on the show. So you'll see it right here. Do not miss that episode. Over an hour on one-on-one with that casting director, talking about things that they like, don't like, to help give you the edge in your next audition. So thanks again so much for tuning in and watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.